we want to come back to this very simple, different understanding of what marketing actually is. This is you sharing with the world the divine gift that is trying to be of service to this planet. And when you come back into your heart space, when you come back into your soul, when you come back into what really matters, if you come back into your innate desire to feel joy and to feel abundance, to feel love, and also for all of those around you to feel the same, and for this planet to finally come back into balance, you know that you play a role, and you know that so does everybody else. But how many of you are fully playing your role? How many of you are waiting to fully play your role? How many of you are saying that you need this or that or this or that for you to fully play your role? When you fully play your role, that is when the energy can finally flow back to you, because you are expressing that abundance, that value, that service into the world. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. Whenever we have filming days, I always meditate first thing in the morning, and I'm usually just dropping in to kind of clear my own stuff. So I do energy work on myself, and I clear out any thoughts on my brain, because I don't want to bring my own stuff into whatever I'm doing that day for work. It's a really important part, just clearing out your own energetic debris. But I also find that things that are popping up for me are popping up for the collective. And often what happens when I'm in that space and clearing out my field and channeling, and that's when I'll connect in with spirit, and they'll give me just little tidbits of usually phrases or topics that they want to talk to me more about. Those will come in, and I want to just drop into the field again and channel about some of those phrases I wrote down this morning, because I didn't have actually as much time as I usually do to go into it on my own. So I thought, let's just see what it is here. So some of the things that were written down, they were talking about the spiritual approach to marketing. And they were also talking about not getting in the way of a frequency stream. And I was really wondering why my car got dented. Which I think I know now, but before we started recording this, somebody had messaged me that her car got dented as well, and she saw somebody else's car get dented. My car was not hit. I hit a trash can. So I just want to be clear about that. I hit a trash can. So it was my fault, but the thing is that my car has sensors that's supposed to stop me. So anytime I get really close to anything, my car just stops. It doesn't actually let me press, or if I try to press the gas, it just veers out. So it usually blocks me from anything that I'm even remotely close to. So for whatever reason, that didn't happen, and I hit the trash can, and now I have these two little dents that for whatever reason are really hard for people to get rid of. So my human is not super excited about it, but I'm also aware that there's a bigger spiritual lesson in that. So I'm hoping we can just kind of drop in and connect all of that together. So I'm going to drop into the field and see what comes up. When I am channeling for myself, the way that I like to connect in is connect in with, I call it, it's kind of like a room I'm in, or I'm in a vibrational space with a lot of different ascended masters that I work with, and angels and guides, source consciousness, all of it's together. And that's the group that is speaking through. Just so you know, that's usually where I default for myself and where I prefer to channel from. Unless I'm in a reading with somebody, then it'll be your soul. But that's where I like to go. So that's who I was connecting with this morning, and that's what I'm going to drop into right now, unless somebody specific wants to come through. So we'll find out. All right. Oh, let's just drop in here. We are excited to be here with you today to discuss the connection points, the vibrational connection points between what is happening in your physical realm and what is happening in the energetic realm. And so where Christina has felt like some of these topics are disconnected, but knows deeper within that they are connected, is the vibrational point where you are uncovering deeper points of resistance. So we're going to start with the cars and the theme of the cars. And as you know, that anything that pops up is not a coincidence. And when you're seeing this pop up in multiple places in your life with other people around you, you can tune into the fact that there is a larger theme for the collective that wants to show up. It's in the simplest moments, it's in the simplest experiences that you can receive some of the most potent spiritual lessons. The thing about understanding how energy works is it is all very simple. In fact, most of you overcomplicate it. And so the main thing that we are trying to reveal to you through these smaller points of resistance, your car gets hit, she hits her car against something else, is where are you bumping up against yourself? Where are you bumping up against your reality? Which takes us to a deeper point, which is that the whole name of the game is for you to drop your resistance. The whole name of the game is for you to get out of the way. The whole name of the game is for you to be conscious, for you to be conscious in the present moment and to consciously follow your intuition. A lot of you are leaning too much on your guardrails. You are leaning too much on the idea that, oh, well, the universe will always support me and I'm always divinely protected. And this is true, but in that divine support and in that divine love, you learn lessons. You are being asked, you are being called forward to slow down so that you can live more consciously. You are being asked to slow down so that you can start to make choices from the higher aspect of yourself, from the higher consciousness within yourself, rather than moving forward unconsciously, expecting all of the guardrails to take you to where you are meant to go. And so while the guardrails are part of your training wheels, so to speak, you're at the phase in the game where you can actually claim your authority. You can actually claim your divine wisdom. You can actually claim that you know what your intuition is guiding you to do. And from that point, we are asking you, or we are inviting you to make a braver choice about how you show up and about how you move through the world. There is a shift happening in the collective related to how you are relating to each other and related to how you are communicating. What is the frequency that you are anchoring into within yourself, that you are speaking from, that you are talking from? Are you speaking from the frequency of your ascended mastery? This is so much of what we are trying to convey to you through the different teachings that we share and express. We are offering for you lessons and examples of how you can step into your ascension frequency, how you can step into your ascended mastery so that you can shift the reality that you're experiencing on this earth plane. We will remind you that it was never about what anybody else is doing. Everything around you is reflecting back to you, where you can rise into a higher level of consciousness and how you can perceive something in a different way. And that requires, perhaps you might consider it to be courage or bravery, but we would say it really requires you to simply honor the truth, for you to perceive things from a different level of consciousness than everyone around you. Because what often happens is the people around you are perceiving things from a certain level of consciousness. And so from there, they're having emotional reactions to what is happening to them. And often you adjust your vibration to meet them in that perception instead of holding your own higher perception, which in fact would illuminate much of the situation for everybody involved. And so we are asking you, we are speaking to those who are coded for stepping into divine leadership, and that is a choice, but we are speaking to you from that frequency for you to recognize that you are going to have to say things and perceive things in a way that are holding integrity, that are holding love, that are holding joy, that are holding that higher consciousness of divine truth in order to pave the way, open the way for others to wake up into that higher level of consciousness as well. And so we ask you to slow down. We ask you to stop reacting. We ask you to stop thinking from the logical stream of thought that you are so attuned to. We ask you to stop thinking from the stream of thought that you're picking up on from everybody around you. And we ask you to pause and take a breath and connect in with the voice of Source itself. We ask you to connect in with the stream of divine love itself and divine truth itself, and to practice perceiving from that place. And this will require you to slow down, to consciously shift your energy, to consciously shift the place from which you are perceiving. And so this will feel like a tangible, practical shift in the way that you think, but you'll notice that it's less clunky. You'll notice that from that space, you naturally drop so much of the resistance that you hold deeply within yourself. The resistance is everything that you are holding on to make sense of the world. The resistance is that you need to know where you're going and how you're getting there. The resistance is that you are trying to manifest something, but you are so obsessed with how it's going to happen, you're locked into how it's going to happen, that you're not truly working with the laws of energy to manifest anything at all. Rather, you are trying to force a timeline, and in doing so, you're constantly getting in the way. And so we want to remind you that your life will become so much easier when you stop getting in the way, when you surrender to the natural stream of things, when you decide the vibrational point that you want to attune to, and you allow that frequency stream to take you there, and you stop trying to figure out how, you stop trying to micromanage and control. You stop trying to fit the current box of your reality into the car that is taking you where you want to go. Because that is what so many of you are doing. You are trying to adjust your current circumstances. You are obsessed with how can I adjust my current circumstances to match that version of me, when perhaps those current circumstances aren't meant to come with you. And if they are, they will naturally and easily and effortlessly. But the real activation, the real call to action, is to allow yourself to release the attachment to everything around you so that you can see what naturally wants to come with you to the next phase. This is how you stop getting in the way. It is so much simpler than you think, but it's all of the things that you do, all of the things that you think, all of the thoughts that you try to force yourself to think, and all the things that you try to figure out that are all of the ways that you are getting in the way. And magic happens when you allow things to flow to you. Magic happens when you stop getting in the way of what wants to come to you, when you stop trying to figure out the how or controlling the how, when you simply allow it to flow. Because most of how you are going to receive what you desire is going to happen in a way that you never could have thought of. It's going to happen in a way that does genuinely surprise you because it is of a different frequency. And that is how you make a quantum shift. Quantum shifts are going to be things that shift your emotional state and your energetic state in such a way that you cannot perceive of it in the current moment. It is going to take you there. And so if you are trying to feel comfortable with it in your current state, then you are never going to get there, because what you need to do is allow yourself to get in the state of discomfort so that that discomfort releases the resistance, and you're able to then allow yourself to energetically shift into something that you are not familiar with, which is uncomfortable. Uncomfortable actually doesn't have to feel bad. Uncomfortable is just, this feels different from comfort. Comfort is habitual. Comfort is what I'm used to, but so many of you are not happy with what you are used to. And so we are asking you to allow yourself to shift into something that is less aligned with your current comfort and more aligned with your future comfort. And that is how you start to shift your frequency. Now, where this connects back to this idea of the spiritual approach to marketing, we'll say that phrase is very human, but it's for you to start to understand the deeper energetics of what marketing is. So many people come to Christina and they are very stressed about their businesses. There are so many people who own their own businesses in her audience, and we understand not all of you do, but there are many principles related to that that will obviously expand out into your life in whichever way they parallel. And for so many who are working on their businesses, they are very caught in a tension point around the energy of marketing. And this is the reason why they're struggling with receiving the abundance that wants to flow to them. And so we want to simplify what's going on. We want you to understand that you came here to share a gift. And there is a divine natural order to things where when you share that unique gift, it's as simple as that. When you share that gift is adding value to the field. That gift is adding value to the collective. And everybody's gifts are uniquely coded to fill in the needs of society. And they are adding value to society. And when you lock into what are my unique gifts and can I allow myself to see how much value this is adding, you come from that place of true service. And that is how energy starts to flow in your current reality. Now, that flow of energy of you putting genuine service into the world and you starting to circulate that energy, you sharing that unique gift, which is coded to the frequency of abundance itself. It is abundance itself. You sharing that abundance with the world of what your unique gift is, you sharing that value with the world, you are sharing abundance with the world. As you push that out, the natural order of things is that abundance flows to you because you attract what you are, you attract what you embody. So when you embody that unique gift and you push it out into the reality and you allow that value and that abundance to serve others, the only thing that can happen is that more abundance flows to you. So what happens in the middle of that? What happens is many of you are not anchoring into what is my unique gift that I'm meant to share with this world. Many of you are overthinking or trying to contort yourselves to what sounds like a good idea. Many of you are caught up in what you should do. You're caught up in the mental part of it. Some of you think it's your intuition and you are too caught up in what you would like it to be, and that's clouding the intuitive truth of what you're naturally here to do. What you're here to do is going to feel so easy for you, effortless for you, enjoyable for you, that it's probably the thing that you're overlooking in terms of how valuable it really is. So that is one of the tension points that is blocking many from receiving the value, the energy, the abundance that is meant to flow back to them from expressing into the world. Now, the next tension point, the next blockage is where you get in the way of you're not actually expressing it. You are not being clear. You are not actually sharing your unique gift. You're contorting it. You're contorting the version of it so it is more palatable or more digestible or whatever you think. And all of this is an illusion. The way that it naturally wants to flow and its exact frequency is the perfect frequency that is the most valuable. And so we need you to get out of the way with how you are judging it, with how you are expecting it to be, with the version of it that you think is the most valuable. With all of that logic, it has to get out of the way because you are contorting the frequency. You are muddying the frequency, and this is blocking that abundant energy, that value, that service to fully flow into the world. Now, the other friction point that is very common is that many of you are not what you would say marketing, but this is what we would say you are not expressing your value to the world. That is a humble thing to do. It is, I am of humble service to this collective. And this is the gift that the divine is sharing with the world through the vessel that is my body. And I would like to share that with you. And many of you are distorting how you share it. So you are either not sharing it with anybody, you are hiding in a cave and hoping somebody finds you, or you are watering down what you call the messaging so that people will, quote, understand you. And what's happening is nobody understands you. Nobody knows that you are there. Nobody understands what you're actually offering. Because what's really going on is we need you to come back to simplicity and clarity. When simplicity and clarity are not active parts of how you are operating through the world, you'll notice all of the ways that you get in your own way. Look at the world around you. Most of it is set up to push you into complication and to never be clear. So much of the world around you is set up to overtalk, to not listen enough, to over-explain things, to make everything so complex. It needs so much articulation and so many words that nobody can understand what it means so that somebody sounds smart. And so you see how your world has been set up more, which leads to more complication, more knots of energy. You have to make an active effort. You have to make the conscious choice to not keep engaging in those energetic knots. There is so much value in simplicity. Simplicity is what makes something clear. And so we want you to strip down all of the extras and all of the complications and everything that feels heavy and hard and come back to who you really are, what your natural gift is, and what the clearest and simplest expression of it is in terms of what the actual service is, but how you are communicating it with the world. Don't try to put filters on top of it. Don't try to explain it in a way that everybody is going to understand, which is usually a more complicated way. The way that everybody is going to understand it is when you are honest with it and when you are simple with it, the most simplified version of it. And then you share, you express, you talk, you tell people, you spread that around. That is where most of you have the scarcity energy. That is where most of you have the resistance. That's where most of you are getting in the way, where you're not aligned with an abundance of expression and an abundance of sharing what you're offering, an abundance of sharing what the divine is trying to offer to this planet through you. And so we want to come back to this very simple, different understanding of what marketing actually is. This is you sharing with the world the divine gift that is trying to be of service to this planet. And when you come back into your heart space, when you come back into your soul, when you come back into what really matters, if you come back into your innate desire to feel joy and to feel abundance, to feel love, and also for all of those around you to feel the same, and for this planet to finally come back into balance, you know that you play a role, and you know that so does everybody else. But how many of you are fully playing your role? How many of you are waiting to fully play your role? How many of you are saying that you need this or that or this or that for you to fully play your role? When you fully play your role, that is when the energy can finally flow back to you because you are expressing that abundance, that value, that service into the world. And so we invite you to come back to that place of service. And when you do that, everything will get simplified. When you do that, you no longer have to live in an energy of resistance. You are inherently allowing, you are inherently out of the way. And for most of you, when you get out of the way and you allow the divine to flow through you, you are going to see the changes that you desire in your life. And you will see that it was so much simpler than you were trying to make it all along. We are excited to see what you continue to share with this world. And we're grateful that you're with us today. All right, there we go. Maybe my car got hit because I need better marketing. All right, that's it for today. Leave a comment below if this resonated with you and let me know what you got from that. And I will chat with you again next time.